Welcome to my channel. My name is Alan. Coming at you today with Nora by Nuala O'Connor. A love story of Nora and James Joyce. Now, I enjoyed this book so much by the author that I ordered her other book on Emily Dickinson up here. Can't wait to read that. It's a new genre of I thought this was nonfiction. I was saving it for nonfiction November, but it's actually biographical fiction. But being a Joycean myself, I did follow along very closely to like James Ullman biography, and I've read Nora by Nora, The Real Life of Molly Bloom by Brenda Maddox. I've read that before, but I thoroughly enjoyed this because the slight fictions she put in, I've read like Stanislaus Joyce, My Brother's Keeper, Joyce's brother, but I learned things in this book. I didn't know he was so keen on getting with Nora. You know, he really would downplay his brother quite a bit. And James, don't call me Jim Joyce, was, you know, a scoundrel. He's an alcoholic, had bad consequences to his health, to his eyes, but it's 457 pages long. You know, pretty big book. I read it in 3 days, couldn't put it down. Goes through his life of pennies, poems, penny each, and chamber music, his poetry, and getting that published through Grant Richards, Dubliners, and that up and down fiasco. They finally published it, and portrait. And then when you get to Ulysses in Paris, Ernest Hemingway appears in here. It kind of goes fast. I wish you would have spent a little more time on Ulysses and that, his friendship with Frank Budgeon. But boy, those salad years of eating rabbit lung soup and that, and trying to make ends meet by teaching at the Berlitz schools and in Trieste before, you know, he finally published it. He wasn't making any money until Portrait, and then Ulysses took off when it was serialized. Ezra Pound makes an appearance. Sylvia Weaver was a big influence, had a big effect on the family financially, everything else. Let's see. Then we get into the Finnegan's Wake period, which I really love, and with the appearance of Samuel Beckett. But I also Samuel Beckett was Joyce's secretary. And I don't think it's a coincidence. I've seen several cartoons. I'll see if I can find one where Samuel Beckett's career with Waiting for Godot, that's how Beckett pronounced it, and his fiction. Is there a coincidence with him being a secretary and Joyce's Finnegan's Wake? I don't know. It begs consideration. Not saying he stole anything, but just so much. The family thing in Giorgio, and especially Lucia. I'd really like to read more about Lucia and her schizophrenia and her hospitalizations and her lobotomy. Her lobotomy isn't in here because possibly Nora died before that occurred. Lucia didn't die until 1982. I can remember that. I graduated high school then. And Joyce was born in 1882. And the First World War is in here, and they had to flee. Just Joyce's constant travels The death of John Joyce. I saw John and Mary Joyce's grave in Dublin, and that's another story. But really sad ending. But they were truly in love. There's letters in here that are exact. I'm not going to read any because they're quite raunchy, quite erotic. But there's letters in here that are true to form. Just a great, great love story. I highly recommend it. And I recommend Nuala O'Connor too. Great writer. So, short and sweet. Try to keep my reviews under 5 minutes long. So, coming to you from Portland, balmy Portland. It's already 70 degrees, and it's only like 6 a.m. 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So stay cool out there. So subscribe. I'm reading a lot more book reviews coming. Reading an Anne Rice book right now. And I mentioned I'll be reading Ms. Emily Dickinson. So make a comment. I'll reply. Stay cool.